All right, so you want to get into cycling for fitness, huh? Well, we've got a whole bunch of sources to help you get started.
Yeah, we'll cover pretty much everything from like your very first workout to how those pro cyclists train.
We even have some insights on like the science behind it all. It's going to be awesome.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's like we're going to build you a roadmap from your first kind of shapy ride to crushing those hills
Yeah.
like a pro.
Exactly. Okay, so to kick things off, we're going to look at this beginner cycling workout on YouTube by Kaylee Cohen. It's only 20 minutes and it's all indoors, so it seems pretty manageable. What really stood out to me was how she structures the whole thing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Like she starts with a warm up, then you've got sprints, even climbs, all while you're just sitting down on the bike. She even has you focus on each leg individually, which I thought was super interesting.
Yeah. That whole like focus on proper form, even at the beginner level, is really, really important.
Mm.
And, luckily, this Fitness on Two Wheels article we have really gets into the nitty gritty of why. Yeah, because, good form, it isn't just about like looking good on the bike, right? It's about preventing injuries, making sure you're not wasting any energy, and building those cycling muscles the right way.
So it's more than just hopping on and going crazy with the pedals.
Oh, way more. This Fitness on Two Wheels article, it actually lays out all the incredible ways cycling can like transform your body.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. We're talking like heart health. You build strength and endurance in your muscles. It's like a two-for-one deal. And of course, it can help you manage your weight too.
Okay, all that sounds great, but I gotta ask, is it really a full body workout? I mean, you're just sitting there?
That's actually what makes it so cool. The article compares cycling to like running, right?
Okay.
And the crazy thing is, cycling is way easier on your joints.
Really?
Oh, yeah. So like
Okay.
for anyone who's worried about their knees or just doesn't want that impact from running, cycling is like the perfect solution.
Makes total sense. In that Kaylee workout, she actually mentions getting this like endorphin rush. Ah, yes.
Is that just her being, super positive and motivating, or is there actual science behind that?
Oh, there's definitely science behind it. Fitness on two wheels, they explain that endorphins are basically your body's natural mood boosters.
Okay.
So when you're cycling, your body pumps out these endorphins, and that helps, reduce stress and just makes you feel incredible. So yeah, it's not just about getting physically fit; it's a mental health win too.
So it's a workout for your body and your brain.
You got it.
That's pretty fantastic. But I gotta admit, sometimes working out can just feel like, well, work. So what about the fun factor?
Ooh, that's a good question. Well, luckily, Fitness on Two Wheels, they actually have some great suggestions for that.
Really?
Oh, yeah. They suggest things like group rides, checking out scenic trails, or even just doing family outings. Can you imagine like cycling through some amazing scenery with your friends, or even just, enjoying some fresh air and good times with your family?
Now that sounds like fun.
Right. And, speaking of that whole community aspect, in Kelly's video, she also mentions joining her strength training channel, which I thought was interesting.
Oh, for sure.
It seems like cycling could be a great way to like connect with other people who are into the same things.
Totally. And, the best part is there's a bike out there for absolutely everyone. Whether you're into paved roads, mountain trails, or just cruising around town, you can find the perfect bike for you.
That's awesome. Now, you mentioned earlier this sneak peek into how pro cyclists train.
I
In
did.
that Big Muscles video, they talked about like training like an athlete. Honestly, I was both intrigued and a little intimidated. What does that even look like?
Well, we've got this other YouTube video by Dylan Johnson,
Hmm.
and he really digs deep into some more advanced techniques.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So he talks about this thing called interval training, which is basically alternating between like bursts of super high intensity and then periods of, just kind of recovering. And he even gets in the whole debate about training twice a day.
Wait, hold on. Twice a day? That sounds intense. Is that like really necessary?
Not necessarily. It's Dylan actually explains it all comes down to something called glycogen depletion.
Yeah.
Basically, it's when your body runs out of its main source of energy.
Okay.
So he breaks down what exactly glycogen is and why it's so important for how well you can perform on the bike.
Hmm.
So while two shorter workouts can be effective, especially if you're like pressed for time, it's not inherently better than one longer session.
So it's about figuring out what works best for your schedule and how fit you are already.
Exactly. And Dylan, he also talks about the importance of prioritizing workouts.
Hmm.
He suggests, like, as you get closer to your cycling season, whatever that might be for you, you really want to focus on cycling as your main activity. with weight training playing more of a supporting role.
Interesting.
Yeah. And then, fitness on two wheels, they also really emphasize nutrition. They point out that, what you eat is fuel for those rides. That's true for how well you perform and for recovery.
This is amazing. We've literally gone from a basic beginner workout to pro-level tips.
I know, right?
It feels like we're creating a cycling plan as we speak.
Exactly. And speaking of which, remember how in that first Kaylee workout, she had you focus on one leg at a time?
Yeah. It felt a little weird at first, like why not just pedal normally?
It's actually a really clever way to check for muscle imbalances because, like she says, it's pretty common for one leg to be stronger. So by isolating each leg, you become aware of any weaknesses.
So it's like a built-in self-assessment.
Exactly. And knowing this can help you, focus on strengthening that weaker leg, which will ultimately make you a more efficient and powerful cyclist.
Wow, I never even thought about it like that. It's crazy how many little details go into
Well,
cycle.
absolutely. And speaking of details, let's talk about that interval training that Dylan Johnson touched on in his video.
Yeah,
I have to admit, the idea of those high-intensity bursts kind of makes me nervous.
me too. But,
Yeah.
the way Dylan explains it, those short bursts, they actually help you build endurance and speed over time. It's like pushing your limits, but in a safe way.
That's a great way to put it. And the cool thing is, it can be adjusted to any fitness level. So you can start with shorter intervals
Yeah.
and gradually increase the intensity and how long they last as you get stronger.
So it's not just for super athletes.
Not at all.
Mhm.
And, fitness on two wheels, they remind us to listen to our bodies and not push ourselves too hard too quickly. It's more about consistency than burning yourself out.
That's reassuring. Okay, so what about this glycogen depletion thing? Dylan mentioned it, and it seems pretty important, especially if you're going on longer rides.
Right.
I think I get the basic idea, but could you maybe break it down a little more? What actually is glycogen?
Okay, so think of glycogen as your body's energy reserve.
Okay.
So when you eat carbs, your body breaks them down into glucose, which then gets stored as glycogen in your muscles and liver. And it's basically your go-to fuel source whenever you're exercising.
So it's like filling up your gas tank before a road trip.
Exactly. But, what happens when you start running low on fuel?
Oh.
That's when you hit what athletes call the wall. It's a pretty common experience for people who do endurance sports. You basically feel this sudden drop in energy, and your performance just plummets. It's like your engine's sputtering because it's out of gas.
Ooh. That sounds awful. Is there any way to prevent that from happening?
Oh, absolutely. First and foremost, you got to make sure you're fueling up properly before you even start your ride. Eating a meal or a snack that has complex carbs a few hours before you head out is super important.
So pre-ride fuel is key.
Sure.
Got it. But what about during the ride itself, especially if it's a long one?
That's where things like sports drinks and energy gels come in handy.
Oh, okay.
They basically give you easily digestible carbs that your body can use quickly to top up those glycogen stores while you're on the go.
So they're like pit stops for your energy levels, but in the middle of the ride.
Exactly. And don't underestimate the importance of hydration. Water is crucial for transporting all those nutrients and regulating your body temperature. So make sure you're sipping on water throughout your ride.
Got it. Fuel up before, pit stops during, and stay hydrated. Now, Dylan also mentioned combining weight training with cycling. How does that all fit into the picture?
Strength training is incredibly beneficial for cyclists.
Mm.
It boosts your power output, it increases your muscular endurance, and it can even help prevent injuries.
Okay, but how do you manage both? It seems like a lot to juggle.
Well, Dylan, he actually recommends prioritizing your workouts based on, like we were talking about before, the cycling season.
Oh, okay.
So during the off season, when you're not competing or training as intensely, you can really focus on building strength. But then, as your cycling season gets closer, you shift gears and prioritize those cycling-specific workouts, with strength training taking more of a back seat.
It's like having a seasonal training plan.
Precisely. And even during your peak cycling season, maintaining some strength training, maybe 1 or 2 sessions a week, is really important for overall performance and making sure you don't develop any muscle imbalances.
So it's all about balance and knowing what to focus on when.
Exactly. Speaking of balance, remember we were talking about those mental benefits of cycling?
Yeah, all those endorphins and stress reduction. It's pretty amazing.
Right. It actually goes way beyond just endorphins, though. Cycling can be incredibly meditative. Think about it. You're outdoors, you're surrounded by nature, and you're engaging in this rhythmic, repetitive movement. It's like a moving meditation.
I love that. It's like a chance to, disconnect from all the craziness of everyday life and just be present in the moment.
Exactly. And that sense of presence, it can be so calming and restorative. It's a chance to like clear your head, process your thoughts, and maybe even tap into some creativity. I know like some of my best ideas come to me when I'm out on a ride, just letting my mind wander.
It's like the bike becomes a vehicle for both physical and mental exploration.
I love that. And speaking of exploration, remember Fitness on Two Wheels mentioned those scenic bike trails.
Oh, yeah. The idea of like exploring new places on a bike, that really appeals to me.
It's such a fantastic way to experience the world. Just imagine cycling through forests, along the coastline, over rolling hills. You're not just working out, you're engaging all your senses,
Mhm.
taking in the scenery, breathing in the fresh air, feeling the wind on your face.
It's like you're turning your workout into an adventure.
Exactly. And it's an adventure you can share with others too. You've got group rides, cycling with friends and family, even organized tours. It's just a great way to connect with people who share your love for cycling.
I love that sense of community. It's like you're combining social interaction with fitness and exploration.
It is. And there's so much you can gain from riding with others too. You can learn from people who have more experience, share tips and stories, and just motivate each other to push yourselves further.
Kaylee also touched on that community aspect in her video. She encourages viewers to join her strength training channel. It's like cycling is just this gateway to a whole network of connections.
That's so true. You might start cycling for fitness, but then you find yourself like drawn into this whole community of people who are passionate about the sport.
Yeah.
You might discover new trails to explore, try out different types of cycling, even get involved in cycling events or races.
Wow, the possibilities really are endless. And it's not just about personal benefits either. Cycling has some pretty amazing positive impacts on the environment and our communities as a whole.
Absolutely. It's an eco-friendly way to get around that reduces our need for cars, helps ease traffic, and just promotes cleaner air. It's like this small action with big implications for our planet.
It's like we're pedaling towards a better future, one ride at a time.
Exactly. And as more people embrace cycling, it creates this ripple effect that leads to positive change on a much larger scale.
That's inspiring. Okay, so before we move on to part two, let's quickly recap what we've covered so far. We talked about proper form, interval training, glycogen depletion, the mental benefits of cycling, and even the importance of picking the right bike and supporting cycling infrastructure. It's been an incredible journey already.
It really has. And there's still so much more to discover. In part two, we're going to dive into some even more fascinating aspects of cycling, from advanced training techniques to all the latest gear and technology. So stay tuned.
Okay, I'm feeling super pumped to get on a bike, but before we do, can we go back to that glycogen depletion thing for a sec?
Sure.
I get that it's important, but I'm still a little confused about, like, how it actually works. Is it really just about eating enough carbs?
That's a good question. And it's actually more complicated than that. Fitness on Two Wheels actually talks about different types of carbs and how they affect those glycogen stores. So it's not just about how much you eat, but the types of carbs you're eating.
So, like, all carbs aren't created equal.
Not exactly. So you've got simple carbs, like the ones you find in sugary drinks and processed foods. They digest really quickly and give you that quick burst of energy, but they don't really last. Then you have complex carbs. Those are the ones you find in whole grains, fruits, and veggies. They take longer to digest and give you a more sustained release of energy, which is way better for like keeping your glycogen levels topped up.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. So it's all about choosing the right carbs so you don't hit that wall. What about Dylan's suggestion of doing 2 workouts a day? How does that affect glycogen and your performance?
Hmm. That's where things get interesting. When you train twice a day, you put a lot more stress on your glycogen stores. You're basically depleting them twice as fast, which means that recovery and nutrition become even more important.
So if you're not fueling properly, those 2-a-day workouts could actually be a bad thing.
Exactly. It's like trying to drive your car when it's almost out of gas. You might be able to go for a little bit, but you're not going to get very far.
So it's all about finding that sweet spot, the right amount of training, enough recovery, and of course, good nutrition.
You got it. And that sweet spot, it's going to be different for everybody. Things like how fit you are, your training goals, and even just your daily schedule all play a part. The key is to listen to your body and figure out what you need.
That's good advice for pretty much anything, really.
Yeah.
Speaking of figuring out what you need, Dylan also really stressed the importance of strength training for cyclists. I've always thought of cycling as mostly cardio, but it sounds like strength training is more important than I realized.
Yeah, for sure. Strength training isn't just about getting big muscles. It's about building a strong foundation that helps you perform better when you're cycling. And, Dylan even mentioned how important it is to prioritize your workouts. He recommends making cycling your main focus as you get closer to your cycling season, whatever that looks like for you.
So, like, shifting gears from strength training to more cycling specific workouts as competition gets closer.
Exactly. It's all about what's called periodization, which is basically just a fancy term for strategically planning your workouts throughout the year.
Yeah.
During the off season, when you're not competing or training as hard, you can spend more time on strength training. But then, as your cycling season gets closer, you want to really hone in on that cycling training to get those legs ready.
That makes a lot of sense. But wouldn't someone who's just starting out benefit from a more balanced approach, all year round?
You're absolutely right. For someone who's new to cycling, keeping a good balance between strength training and cycling is the best way to build a solid fitness base. Then, as you get more experience and you start setting those specific cycling goals, that's when you can start playing around with periodization a little more.
Okay, I got it. So it's all about adapting your training to what you need and what your goals are. Let's switch gears a little bit and talk about the mental side of cycling. We've already talked about the endorphin rush and how it can reduce stress, but are there other mental benefits to cycling?
Oh, tons. Fitness on two wheels only scratches the surface, really. Just think about it. You're outside, you're surrounded by nature, you're engaging in this rhythmic, repetitive movement. It's practically a moving meditation.
I can totally see that. It's like a chance to disconnect from all the noise and just be in the moment.
Exactly. And that feeling of being present, it's incredibly calming and restorative. It gives you a chance to clear your mind, think things through, maybe even get those creative juices flowing. I know I get some of my best ideas when I'm out on a ride and just letting my mind wander.
It's like your bike becomes a vehicle for both physical and mental exploration.
I like that. And speaking of exploration, remember how Fitness on Two Wheels talked about those scenic bike trails?
Yeah, the idea of exploring new places by bike, I love that.
It's seriously one of the best ways to experience the world. Imagine cycling through forests, along the coast, over hills. You're not just working out, you're engaging all your senses. You're taking in the scenery, breathing in the fresh air, feeling the wind on your face.
You're turning your workout into an adventure.
Exactly. And it's an adventure you can share with other people, too. You could do group rides, ride with friends and family, or even go on organized tours. It's a great way to connect with people who love cycling as much as you do.
I love that community aspect. It's like you're combining social interaction with fitness and exploration, all in one.
That's it. And there's a lot to be said for riding with others, too. You can learn from more experienced cyclists, share tips and stories, and even just encourage each other to push a little harder.
Kaylee talked about that community aspect in her video too. She encouraged people to join her strength training channel. It really does seem like cycling opens up a whole new world of connections.
It's true. You might start cycling just to get in shape,
Yeah.
but then you find yourself drawn into this whole community of people who are just as passionate about the sport. You might discover new trails, try different types of cycling, maybe even get involved in some cycling events or races.
It really is like a gateway to a whole new world. And it's not just about the personal benefits either. Cycling has some really positive effects on the environment and the community as a whole.
Oh, yeah, definitely. It's a super eco-friendly way to get around, which means fewer cars on the road, less traffic, and cleaner air. It's like this one small thing you can do that has big implications for the planet.
It's like we're all pedaling toward a better future, one ride at a time.
Exactly. And the more people who choose to cycle, the bigger that ripple effect becomes, leading to positive change on an even larger scale.
That's really inspiring. All right, so before we wrap up part two, let's do a quick recap of everything we've covered. We've talked about different types of carbs, the importance of proper fueling for two-a-day workouts, strength training for cyclists, the amazing mental benefits, and even the social and environmental impact of cycling. It's been quite a ride so far.
It has. But we're not done yet. In part 3, we're going to dive even deeper into the world of cycling. We'll explore some more advanced training techniques, check out the newest gear and technology, and maybe even uncover a few more surprises along the way. So stick with us.
Okay, I'm ready for part three. We've learned so much already, from those beginner workouts to the science behind cycling, even the impact it can have on the environment. It's amazing how much goes into something that seems so simple.
I know, right? Cycling really is so much more than just pedaling. It's a sport, it's a hobby, a way of life, even a way to get around, all in one. And there's always something new to discover, like a new trail or a training technique or even just a deeper understanding of your own body.
Yeah, I'm definitely feeling that sense of discovery already. So, what other cool stuff do we have in store for part 3?
Well, remember those advanced training tips that Dylan Johnson talked about in his video? Let's dig a little deeper into those. He mentioned something called cadence, which is basically how many times your pedals go around in a minute.
Cadence. I never really thought about that before. I just kind of pedal at whatever speed feels good.
That's what most people do, but there's actually like an ideal cadence range that helps you use your energy more efficiently and generate more power. Dylan explains that a higher cadence, somewhere between 80 and 100 RPM, is usually more efficient, especially for those longer rides.
So, pedaling faster is actually better.
It can be, especially if you're trying to conserve energy and avoid getting tired muscles.
hmm
It's about finding that sweet spot where you're not pushing too hard, but you're not just spinning your wheels either.
So, it's all about that balance between power and efficiency. What other pro tips did he have?
He also talks about how important core strength is for cyclists. You might think it's all about leg strength, but having a strong core is super important for stability, transferring power, and preventing back pain.
Oh, that makes sense. I can see how that would help you stay steady on the bike, especially when you're going uphill or over rough terrain.
Exactly. And a strong core can actually help you use less energy when you pedal because it helps you stay in a more aerodynamic position on the bike.
So, it's not just power, it's about aerodynamics too.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Every little thing counts when it comes to getting the most out of your ride. And speaking of details, let's talk gear. Fitness on Two Wheels has a whole section on choosing the right bike and accessories.
Oh, yeah, I was just thinking about that. There are so many options, it's a little overwhelming.
It can be, but the article does a good job of breaking down all the different types of bikes, road bikes, mountain bikes, hybrids, and everything in between. They even talk about all the essential accessories, like helmets, shoes, even those fancy cycling computers that track your speed, distance, and heart rate.
Wow, it's like a whole world of cycling gadgets and stuff. I wouldn't even know where to start.
Well, the article suggests starting with the basics. A good helmet is absolutely essential for safety, obviously. And then, depending on the type of cycling you want to do, you can start looking at different bikes and accessories. There are even bike shops that will, help you find the perfect bike for your body and your riding style.
That's awesome. It's like having a personal cycling stylist.
Right. And then, once you have those basics down, you can start experimenting with different gear and
Mm.
see what works best for you. That's part of the fun of cycling, finding what you love and making it your own.
Speaking of making it your own, we were talking earlier about that sense of community in cycling.
Yes. All those group rides, Killy's strength training channel, it's so cool to see how cycling brings people together.
Fitness on Two Wheels also mentions some other ways to connect with other cyclists. Like, there are online forums, social media groups, even cycling clubs right in your own community where you can meet people, share tips, and maybe even find a riding buddy.
It's like this whole support network, but for cycling.
Mm.
And it doesn't matter if you're a total beginner or you've been riding for years, there's a place for everyone in the cycling community.
It really is amazing how something as simple as cycling can have such a huge impact on our lives, our health, our mental well-being, our connection to nature, even how connected we feel to our community.
It's true. And it all starts with that first pedal stroke. So if any of this has sparked your interest, I say just go for it. Get out there and see for yourself how much joy cycling can bring.
I'm totally feeling inspired. This whole deep dive has been incredible, and I can't wait to put everything we've talked about into action. Thanks for being such an awesome guide.
My pleasure. And hey, remember, it's not about being the fastest or the strongest. It's about enjoying the ride and all the amazing things that come with it. Happy cycling.